Hello. Beautiful, beautiful day. Look at that. Glorious. Yeah, beautiful day. Just thought I'd show you that. So I'm making this video if and when I think about certain things, because it's going to be a premiere. It's going to be a long one. So, hello. Hello and welcome to the premiere. Let me just lob all my cables and bits down. Jerky camera while I put you on its housing. Sorry about that. There we go. How's that? Hello. So, yeah, welcome to the premiere. This premiere is not to celebrate, but this premiere is, I've been here for a year, that's what I'm trying to say. So, God, what a year. Time is a funny thing, you know, as you get older. I think time goes quicker, I'm quite certain of that. But time can be very deceptive as well. When I think a year, sometimes I think, is that all? I've only been here for a year. Because I feel that I've been here for many years. You know, I can walk down the little village, down the streets and what have you, and chat to people that I feel that I've known for years and years and years. Very strange. But also I look at it and I think, God, that was so quick. That year just, can't believe it's a year. In many respects it feels like just a few months. So it's crazy really how, you know, as I say, time is quite deceptive and time moves on and what have you. I'm just rolling a fag and having a Slurpee. Yeah, it really is very, very deceptive, and I've got a feeling it's to do with age. As we get older, I'm sure, quite certain that time moves in a different way to when you're a child. And I've always thought this, when you're 10 and you want to be a teenager, those 3 years, good God, you know, they go on and on and on, and then you want to be 18 and it takes forever to get to 18, and then you're 30, 40, 50, 60 and you say, hang on, slow down, what's all that about? Anyway, my dog has just made me a Slurpee, bless him, and he's filled it right to the bloody top. Cheers. I'm certain that I put the mic on, but I am going to check. Yeah. Oh, did you hear that noise I made then? You make some peculiar noises at times. Yeah, so time is a funny thing, isn't it, really? Also, you can mean to do something within that timescape, that time limit, and before you know it, time has moved on, and you're meant to do something and you thought, I must bloody do that, and then 2 weeks have gone by, or 4 weeks, and 6, and then you do it, like say make a phone call to somebody. So you phone that person and say, look, sorry I haven't been in touch, and they say, oh, I wondered how you were, it's been 4 months, and you go, is it? Yeah, it is. And you thought it was 4 weeks, 5 weeks, but it's been 4 months. So it's sorry about that. I wondered if my little mic thing was on there. Yeah, so time is a funny old thing like that. Now, I'm making this video, today is actually the 27th of February, but I'm making this video and this will come up the middle of March. I'm only making a little bit now, and I'll add more to it if and when I think of certain things, because it's trying to encapsulate a year into a video. It's probably going to be 40, 50, 60 minute video, I don't know, but trying to encapsulate all of what happened and all the rest of it into a video is virtually impossible. So if and when things crop up in my mind, I'll make a little video. But for now, I thought I'd have a fag and a Slurpee and do the first part of my year video, year here. Now, it's not a year since I have moved out of Ishi or anything like that. But it's a year of being here where you currently see me now, the bungalow with the art room and all the rest of it. It's the first time that I've lived anywhere other than Ishi, but the first time I've lived anywhere for a year, for a long, long time. Which sounds crazy, but it's true, it's fact. The last bungalow, I was very nearly a year, very nearly 2 weeks just before the year, then I moved here. So I didn't quite make it a year there. And as I say, obviously I was in Ishi for 4 years, but I didn't, that's a slightly different thing, isn't it, to living in bricks to living in a vehicle. But we've been living here 1 year. By the time you get this, we will have been living here for 1 year. And when I think back, if you remember, do you remember all the hassle and the palaver? The internet, trying to get the internet sorted. Because I live in a bit of a backwater place, you know, really. And it's never had the internet, this bungalow, obviously. And of course I move in, that's high priority to me, that's my work, that's my art, it's my communication, making these videos, whatever. For me, the internet is a very important thing. Obviously, prior to me living here, the internet wasn't even thought of for other people who lived here. And they had to put a 4-way traffic light up and block all the bloody road up one night and all the rest of it, just to put my little cable in. And then come and fit it up on the telegraph pole and then down through the wall and all the rest of it. So it was quite a big thing. If you remember, it went on for a number of weeks, and I had a dongle, which worked fine. Dongles always work fine. When I was in Ishi, I had a MiFi dongle, and that was absolutely brilliant. And they gave me, free of charge, they gave me a dongle to use here. Not free, the company free, I couldn't get that here, but a different company. And that worked fine as well, no problem with it. But I didn't want to lose anything, particularly with work. You know, I didn't want anything to slow up and all the rest of it. So I needed the internet, wanted to go on the internet, not a lot to ask for in this day and age. But it did turn out to be a right palaver. The other thing was the electric, if you remember. When I moved here, the company, I think it was Southern Electric, perhaps, I can't remember. So I changed to British Gas. I didn't like them, so I changed from British Gas to a company called Spark. Spark put the money up. I made a video about that, and now I'm with a company called Bulb. So I've had 4 bloody utility companies in a year, which is probably far too many. But go where the deals are. That's my advice there. But that was a right old palaver. If you remember, I had 9 keys, 9 electric keys. Some with money on, some with not. Some meant I owed money, but I hadn't lived here. It went on and on. And finally it was all sorted, so that was good. And at the time there was a lot of hassle, but when you think back, and I'm not looking back with rose-tinted glasses, but I'm just looking back, within a number of weeks, I know within 10 days, this place was sorted, virtually sorted, with my furniture, carpets, painting and decorating, putting pictures up, just finding a place for everything. 10 days, and I was amazed, because I still remember the removals people as they drove away from here, and I turned and looked at this pile of stuff. I thought, my God, where do I begin? But when you move, priority number 1, and I did this, I brought the kettle over myself, the kettle, a couple of cups, teaspoons, some coffee, a couple of tea bags. Not that I drink tea, but other people might. Bowl of sugar, some milk, different bits and bobs. Brought all that over so I can make a drink. That's priority number 1. Priority number 2 is to make your bed and clear a path to your bed. That's all you need. And if that's all you do in day 1, it's good enough. I ordered a takeaway, I think, on my first night, and we were at home. But within 10 days, as I say, it was all sorted really within 10 days. And then there's a few straggly bits. I think like the electric carried on for another week or two. The internet carried on for a week or two, but eventually both of those were sorted. And things just fell into place really. But I did feel very content. Even with all that hassle that was going on, I was inside, I was quite content. And I felt that I'd gone home. You know, I'd gone to a place with a feel of home, a contented vibe, a contented feel. The neighbours were lovely, absolutely lovely. On the very first night, one of my neighbours texted and said, meet me halfway in the close. I'm in my nightie. I thought, well, there's an offer. First night as well. So I went over there and got a little card and a pot of jam that she'd made. And that was lovely, and I brought it back and I looked at the jam, or marmalade, I can't remember, I think it was jam. Yes, it was jam, blackberry. Looked at the label and she put my name on it and she put welcome to the close. And I thought, how lovely, how lovely. That was the first night. And that was a good vibe, a good omen, a good feel about the people here as well. And then slowly, you know, you get to know everybody. There's only 6, so you get to know everybody probably within 3 or 4 days. They all knew me, obviously. You know, when you move in anywhere, people, and I'm not being nasty, but people look out the windows, out the curtains, and they have a look at you, and, you know, they try and maybe pigeonhole you or put you into a place or think about you and stuff like that, or wonder about you. But yeah, it didn't take long really to get to know everybody, so that was nice. Hang on a sec. So I got all the carpets in very, very quickly before I moved in, that was the plan, and it worked like that. One of my neighbours decorated for me, which was great, and I gave him quite a healthy bonus because he did such a good job in such a short time. I was really pleased. It was something that I couldn't do myself because I was so busy at the other end packing and just doing things in general. You know, things just, hello boat, things just take a long time. Hello, I'll take you out in a minute, okay? I'm just making a video. Look there, okay? Can you get down for a minute? Good boy, thank you. Yeah, because I was so busy, so I said, you know, I'll pay you, obviously, you know, if you could do me a few little bits and bobs and little jobs and little bits to decorate and stuff like that. Great job, fantastic job, and I'm really, really pleased. So I paid quite a bit more than what they asked for because they deserved it, as far as I'm concerned. Did a great job. Got some absolute bargains really. When I moved, I said to the guy, look, I only pay cash, I don't want to pay tax and all the rest of it. And he said, oh, in that case, and he lowered the price. I did the same with the carpet fitter. I think it was 70 quid he knocked off. That's quite a lot really. I had an electrician out one time. I had to buy a new cooker, freezer, fridge, things like that, you know. And slowly and surely things just came in, and you're living in this sort of turmoil, mess and stuff like that, but it's all slowly getting sorted, and you can feel it in your head that you're ticking things off, just ticking things off. So over the year, the only things that have changed really, I've moved a little bits of furniture around and stuff like that, and I put a few extra pictures up and bits, but the only real big change I suppose that's happened, obviously I had all the fencing fall down, I've had all that replaced, shed roof ripped off nearly, so I've had that replaced. But one of the best things is I got a shower. One of the best things. I was on the phone fairly recently to a friend of mine, and he said it's my best time in my 24 hours, and I agree. I absolutely agree. to stand in there and let that hot water pummel your back, and you know, you just feel so lovely, so clean. I'm just out now and I smell so clean and fresh, and I've really enjoyed being in there. You know, it's a funny thing, isn't it? It's only a shower, but to me it was a big thing. So that was great, and I got put on the internet proper, as I've said as well, and to me that was a big thing. Apart from that, no major changes. We're very happy to be here. So we're going to make a move now, and I will be back whenever and put bits on the end of this video and this premiere video, if and when I think of things, because I will think of a number of things that I'm really happy about, or that didn't work, or trials and tribulations of the move itself, or whatever, and what the future may hold for me. So a lot to get through really in a relatively short amount of time. So we'll be back soon-ish. Cheers. Take care. Be well. Ta-ra. Hello. Hello. Okay, so another little bit of the premiere video. Believe it or not, I've only just sorted this out 24 hours ago. Sorted something out in my head. And I spoke to a friend of mine, a traveller, a guy called Pete, and it was really lovely, nice conversation and what have you. And he said, how are you getting on, you know, in your bungalow? And I said, lovely, you know, I'm content and all the rest of it. And I said to him, I find myself on websites like Rightmove and things like that, looking at other properties to rent in different areas. And he said, well, why would that be? Why is that? And I said, I don't know. I just, something that I do. And he said, you've moved around a lot, haven't you, in your life? And I said, yeah, I've always moved around. You know, that's just me, I suppose, really. But not just moved around as in bricks. I've moved job to job to job. I've moved groups of friends again and again and again. I like that. I like the change. I like the newness of whatever situation that you find yourself in and all the rest of it. Doing the usual, checking that I turned this on. I have. Anyway, we had quite a lengthy conversation really, and we were speaking about it. And he said, maybe there's some anxiety in the back of your mind that thinks that when something is that good, it could be taken away, you could lose it, something bad could happen. And he's absolutely right. He's absolutely right. So what I do to replace all of that anxiety, I get something else in place, and that's another property. Crazy, I know, but he's absolutely right. I'm not telling you exactly where it stems from, but many years ago something terrible happened in my life, and my life was going absolutely fine in lots of ways. In and around my life it was going great, really good, and I don't think I could have been happier. I really don't. And something terrible happened, you know, so I get the feeling that when I've reached that near pinnacle of perfection, when I'm that happy and that content, that I feel that again something terrible will happen and it's all gone, you know. So yeah, I think I've put that to bed. Okay, now what I've done, it's only been 24 hours, but I have not been on any of these bloody websites and all the rest of it, and I'm now no longer gonna be doing that. A couple of weeks ago I was on Rightmove. I found an absolutely idyllic bungalow, 2-bedroom bungalow, in Wales, and it was, the views were just immense. I think it was Pembrokeshire, and it was just absolutely beautiful, stunning. And I'd had a look, and nobody had wanted it really. It had been on there certainly for a number of weeks. Can't remember how many weeks now, but about 6 or 8 weeks. Quite a long time. And I thought, bloody hell, if I went for that, I'd probably get it. And I could afford it and everything else, you know. But then it's up sticks again. And what Pete said to me on the phone was, he said, if you do that, he said, you may end up in a worse position than where you are now, because I don't think I can better where I am. The bungalow is superb. It's lovely to have the gardens and a couple of sheds. The neighbours are great. Everybody that I've spoken to so far in the village has been absolutely lovely. We've got walks. We've got there's a quiet, beautiful, quiet vibe that really fits. I get left alone to do my work and do my art, have a nap if I need to, whatever, just get left alone. And that's what I like as well. And he said, if you moved again, you may find that you move next to the neighbour from hell, or it's not quite as it seems, or blah, blah, blah. There could be 1,000,001 reasons, couldn't there? And I said, yeah, I think you're right. So I'm not moving. Slurpy's gone bloody cold. Yuck. In that case, I'll celebrate with a fag. Yeah, so I'm not moving, and also I'm not going to go on these websites, because what am I doing? What am I doing? Wasting my time. That's what I'm doing. I'm spending probably not long on there really, but you know, if you look for 20 minutes, then you find a property. And I mean, me being me, hang on a minute, me being me, what I was doing was finding a property. Like I found that property in Wales, and then I used the little orange man on Google, and I go down the road and have a look, and then I start researching about the crime in the area, the walks, who owns what land, all the rest of it, and you get a good overview, good feel, good vibe of the place, you know, as if I am going to live there. Then I start looking for things like, you know, is there a doctor's surgery or supermarket? How far's that? How do you drive there? And, you know, I end up, as I say, on Google Maps, as if I'm driving to a supermarket, as if I am actually living there. And I think about it, and, you know, I've got the money, and I've worked the money out and all the rest of it, and, you know, what the bills, the likelihood of the bills. And I'm not bloody moving there. What am I doing? Why am I doing this? Well, I'm doing it out of some misguided, ridiculous thing because I had a bad, terrible experience once, a long time ago. And I feel that badness could come again because something is so good. If I was living here and it was reasonable, you know, if I got on with one or two of the neighbours, and the bungalow was a bit chilly, but never mind, there wasn't really anywhere to walk Bodie, but anyway, we got a garden. If it was like that, I wouldn't be on Rightmove. I wouldn't be worrying about anything, because, you know, the fear, I suppose, of something being taken away when it's just about perfect for you is a big thing in my head, you know. But it's not going to happen. It's very, very, well, in fact, it's never going to happen. I know that for a fact. You know, occasionally I have a conversation with the lady who owns the property. She knows my situation. I know her situation fully, absolutely fully. I've spoken to her son as well, because when she dies, I mean, she's not knocking on, but, you know, when she dies and I'm still about, I can still continue to live here, still continue to rent the bungalow, no problem. So, because I know his situation as well. So I'm never going to lose it. It's never going to go. And that stupid anxiety, the stupid thing in the back of my mind forces me to have a look as if I am bloody living in the middle of Wales. I found one in Scotland as well not so long back. That was lovely, absolutely lovely. And it was overlooking part of a loch. Yeah, that was really, really lovely. But I suppose it's a traveller mentality as well, you know, is that in a way I would like to move on. I know it sounds ridiculous because I'm so happy and content. Why would I want to move away from contentedness? You know, it's not very often in life that you feel at my level of sort of contentedness. Not very often. But I think because of my traveller mentality, I think sometimes, you know, it would be nice to move on, to get to know a new area and new people and new dog walks and new this and new that. But I've been doing that all my life. Keep moving and moving and moving and moving. I've moved, you know, in 18 months I moved 3 times, and each time I've bettered myself, and I don't think I can better what I've got. So I'm staying put. I'm not going on stupid bloody websites. I'm not going to go on these websites anymore because it winds me up. Hello. Christ almighty, I put some gas in that. Like a flamethrower. Not very good when you've got a beard. Anyway, so that is one part of this premiere video, talking about my stupid anxieties and rubbish like that, that will never come to fruition. They won't happen. Pointless worrying about them. But I thought I would just say that because that is one of the negative aspects, I think, about moving from a travelling vehicle into bricks, is that nobody could take my vehicle off me ever. But the bricks, who knows? You know, they could fall down, couldn't they? The bricks could fall down. An aeroplane could crash into your bricks, you know. The lady who owns it could suddenly say, no, I want you out, you know. All these things could happen. But then when you think about it sensibly, it could happen to anybody, anywhere, at any time. You might own your own home. It might be worth £1 million. But it may sink into the ground, or an aircraft may crash into it. You know, and what happens then? Well, you just rebuild. You know, that's what you do, and that's what I've done all my life, regardless of what happens. You know, I'm working somewhere, I'm living somewhere, and then I think, shove it all in a bin, and then before too long I'm living somewhere else and I'm working somewhere else and I'm getting to know new people. There's no problem with that. It's no problem for me to start again. So whatever I worry about is absolutely pointless. If the worst thing happened, and it happened today, within a month's time I'll be living somewhere else, working somewhere else, getting to know new people and being quite happy. So shut up, Bri. Okay, back with more of the premiere if and when. Cheers, take care, be well. Ta-da. Hello. Well, we've had to sort out, we've had to move around a little bit. As you see behind me, you'll see my stereo is now there on my freezer, my CDs are up there, my speakers are up the top. So we've had to sort around. That means that I've had to move the paint that was there. I've now got in a couple of cupboards here. Paintbrushes are all in jars by each side. You can see each side of the stereo on the freezer. It meant I had to rejig the lounge a little bit, but it works now, it works better. I recently made a video saying that partly the reason why I've done that is because of this premiere. I was thinking about what doesn't work, and I've never thought about what doesn't work. I've thought about what works, and we're clear, you know, everybody's clear what works for me here: the garden, the walks, the people, the quiet, all that sort of thing, you know. But I've never really thought about what doesn't work, apart from the shower. I was sat on a bath board having a bath, getting cold. Now I've got a shower, so that's wonderful. And I've redone a few bits in there, so that's nice. But I was thinking, what doesn't work? What would I like to change if I could? And there's 3 or 4 little things that I'd like to change. I want to rejig in my bedroom, just slightly, which I will do at some stage. But one of the things that I really wanted to change was having my music in here. This is my art room. I spend now 90% of my time probably in here. I will go into the lounge, what I call it, lounge, of an evening, late of an evening. I give Bodie a little cuddle. I normally massage him and stuff like that. Put some gentle music on and then drift off to slumberland. That's what I do. And it wasn't putting those speakers and that stereo through its paces, really. You know, it just wasn't beneficial to do that. And I wasn't listening to music a great deal. That's what I found. So I thought, well, I'm going to have a change, have a move around. And I've done it this weekend, and it's great, and it works. After some fiddling and faffing and what have you, but it works. I've listened to, I think it's 7 CDs so far. This is only the second day of having it in here, and it's not sorted. Those CDs up there, they've got to be sorted out, which I'm going to do this afternoon, and then we're all done really. Well, a few little bits in here. So yeah, I've started to think what doesn't work. And when you put yourself into like the third person, you know, that's an interesting little role, that is, isn't it? When you think about, okay, let's look at Bry, let's look at his day. Where does he go in his day? Where does he spend his day? Well, clearly, if I'm working, this is where I work. I work at these 2 PCs here. If I'm doing my art, again, this room. This is where I am. This is where I'm doing my art. And I do quite a lot in here. I do 90%, as I said, 90% of my day is in here, in the art room. So it just made sense, really, to bring my music in here. I can do my work, do my art, do whatever I'm doing in here, but now with decent quality music. Turn the speakers up a little bit as well. And I've had it a bit loud. So hopefully my neighbours have had a nice weekend. That's freed the lounge up then for a more quiet vibe, which is what I always wanted. And it was always a nice quiet vibe, but now it's even quieter. And I've got my big Buddha that was there, if you remember. That's now the centerpiece, if you like. You have to go back and have a look at the video, but I did show it, what I've done. So yeah, if you put yourself into the third person, it's a funny role, isn't it? You look at that. I mean, I do that sometimes. I think, if I wasn't me, what would I think of me? So I look at me, trudging around in me tie-dye and stuff like that. I'd probably think, oh, actually, he's okay. He could probably do with a trim up of his beard. But yeah, I'd think he's okay, really harmless. Don't hurt anybody. Gives, if you can, gives whatever. But yeah, so the third person role. So we've had a bit of a sort out, bit of a change round, stuff like that, and I'm enjoying it even more. There's still a way to go with a couple of little things now that I've started to think like that. What doesn't work? What would I like to change? Could I adapt something? Could I move something? If so, where and how? And not several things. I think there's a couple of things in my bedroom that I'm not happy with that need sorting. I can change that. The lounge just needed a couple of bits changed, and obviously then in here needed a few bits changed, and we're getting there. Okay, if I can think of any more. Actually, I will. I'll add something on the end of here, and then we'll bring it to a close. But thank you for watching and all the rest of it. Hope everybody's well. Welcome to the premiere. I'll be back soon. Take care and be well. Ta-da. Hello. So we are in the new dog walking place. I just thought I'd show you just briefly, really, for this premiere. See all them trees? Can you see all them? Apparently there's 1,000 trees in that area alone. And then we got all this lot as well, which apparently is another 2,000. Is another 1,000. So it's 2,000 at the moment, and they're still going to put even more in. Just look at that. Glorious! And there's my little friendlet. Yeah, he's puffing and panting. We're going to go home in a minute. We've been here a little while, just chilling. Beautiful. Which way shall we go? Should we go down that way? Hello, my boat. There he is. Come on, love. Good boy. Okay, so we're just gonna carry on playing. I'll make some more of this premiere another day. We'll finish it off. But we're so blessed to be here, you know, really. It is lovely, it's quiet, it's peaceful, it's pretty, it's nice. Got views all the way around me of just, really it's just farmland and stuff like that. So it's all quiet. Ready? Okay. Make some more in a bit. Cheers. Take care. And be well. If you can get outside, you know what to do. If you can get outside, enjoy your day, take care and be well. Hello. So, on with the premiere, thinking about what has this bungalow given to me, which I've covered in so many different videos really. Multitude of different things. More space to do my art and all the rest of it. One of the things it's given me is peace and quiet. I'm quite reclusive anyway by nature, and it's allowed me to continue to be that, which isn't a bad thing. That's a positive thing for me. I find people, not close friends, not decent friends, not decent people, but I find a lot of people quite challenging to be around, quite draining, if I'm honest, and I need to recharge my batteries. This place is the perfect place for that. Absolutely 100% perfect. I get left alone, don't get interfered with by my neighbours or anything like that, like I did at the last property. Or if you can hear some drilling, which you should be able to, they're putting a shower in next door. Sounds like he's coming through, doesn't it? Normally there's not a lot of noise here at all, so it gives me time, quiet time. And I think I finished my book here. I don't think I could have finished my book in the last property. You'd be amazed how many hours and hours and hours went by thinking, typing, retyping, rewording, things like that. And I knew that I had hour after hour after hour of that peace, that quiet, that I could just do that. And that's what this has given me, really. It's given me, over and above everything what this property has given me, how do I word it? It's given me a sense of belonging, because I'm here now forever. This is now me. You'll be glad to know the future is here. Finally. What it's given me is home. H-O-M-E. That's what it's given me. I now feel content enough inside to say that I'm at home. And I am at home. I recently-ish had a friend Danny down. We were discussing all my various moves, and well, not all, we were discussing some of my various moves and things like that. And he said, "Is this now it for you?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "You don't sound convinced," or he said something like that. And I said, "No, I am. I'm 99% certain this is it." And again, it's not 100%, is it? I'm 99% certain that this is it. Now, I already mentioned that I used to spend, not a lot of time, I used to spend some time on certain websites that have properties for sale and properties to rent. Why? I have no idea really, it's just absolutely ridiculous, but I've stopped doing that because I'm at home. I think I'm 100% at home. The reason why I'm saying that is I don't think I can better what I've got. I've got a great little village. I've got lovely neighbours, brilliant neighbours actually, really good. I can't fault my neighbours. I've got peace and quiet, apart from drilling. People have got to do whatever they do. This is Sunday while I'm making this, so my next door neighbour's off, and he did say at some stage over this weekend I want to do some drilling and some. I said, yeah, crack on with it, do whatever, you know. I think Tuesday or whatever he's having his shower put in, so I think they're all done by then, so it'll go back to being quiet. But yeah, I think this place has given me that. It's given me a sense of belonging. I did say to Danny that I'm very lucky, I think, in this respect, that I can settle anywhere, any county, it doesn't matter where. If this crumbled tomorrow and I had to go 300 miles that direction, I would settle there, wherever that may be. And it doesn't matter to me. The only thing that matters to me is that I live in a quiet place, and it must be villagey. I didn't ever want a flat. I only ever wanted a bungalow, which I've got, and I've only ever looked for bungalows in very quiet places, which I've got. So I can't get better, I don't think, than what I've got. And to have this huge room here that I spend a lot of time in, I probably wouldn't get this again. If I moved somewhere else, I may move to a one-bedroom place, which I can manage in. You know, you could have your art room and your lounge all in one room, but it'd be a bit cramped, but you'd survive, you know, you'd get by, of course you would, there'd be no problem with that. But I just like the fact that I've got this separate area, this space where I do my work and I do my artwork. But I think all in all, what I feel is home. I do feel that. I feel, I don't know, this is it, you know. finally, this is it. Now, I was on the phone to a mate of mine, a traveller, Pete, and we were discussing the same sort of thing. I mentioned him a while ago that he feels content and at home in Brighton and Hove. Never been there before. He ended up there last year and he's going to stay for another year. That would be 2 years in one area, which is unheard of for Pete. And that's fantastic. Now, that's how I feel. But I kept looking on these websites and what have you, and there was no need to, because I've got what I wanted. And he said that on the phone. He said, if you would have written a list of 10 things you want out of a property, written that down a year or two ago, you've got them. You've ticked every single one of those off of that list. And yeah, he's right. I'm home. Home. It's a funny feeling though, really, for me, because I've been so used to just going wherever, whenever. And not so much travelling in this year. Yeah, of course I did that. But even in bricks, I just moved wherever, whenever. And now I don't feel the need to do that. I really don't. Strange. But I think with me, because I don't really belong anywhere, that means that I belong everywhere. And that is why I can go and settle anywhere. Will this be my final home? To answer that, all I can say right now, the answer is yes. Right now. If things change in 6 months, a year, 2 years, whatever, I'll let you know. I can't see me moving again. I'd be amazed if I moved again. But I've moved enough in my life to know that, you know, a drop of a hat, I'm likely to bloody pack up and go. But I don't think so. I really don't think so. I'd be very, very surprised. It would have to be, I mean, nothing can go wrong here, which is wonderful. So I've got this place for as long as I want it. The neighbours are great. I think if all the neighbours left and I got some horrible neighbours all the way around me, then yeah, I wouldn't feel very comfortable, and I think I'd go. I'm just happy, so happy really with everything, finally. I don't think I can better this property. I'd be amazed if I can better it, really. So that's about it. I think we are at home. Yeah. So that's really taking care of the future, isn't it? Where do I see myself in the future? Well, actually, right here. This is where I see myself. Pointless moving again. Absolutely pointless. I could do, and I've got no problem actually doing that. The enjoyment that I get out of it, I've already said it, is to make a house into a home. I absolutely love that. But I also love getting to know new people, a new area, new places to bimble, new places to go out and about and explore. Just having a load of new, different people around me. I absolutely love that. So I don't think I've got the same homeliness inside of me as what a lot of people have got. A lot of people say, oh no, I'm happy where I am. I know people, I know the place, I know this and I know that. I keep, or used to keep, wanting to change all of that. And I do get a kick out of it. I do, I really love that. I love getting to know all new people, have all a complete set of new neighbours and a new place and a new, finding new walks and bimbles and little drives out somewhere. I do get a big kick out of that, but I think that's the traveller mentality, and I don't think I'm ever probably going to get rid of that, not fully. But for now, I think we're both happy and we're both content. And the content is a huge thing, isn't it, really? You can be happy, a fleeting happiness, but the contentment, the deep blissfulness, that's what contentment means. Content is a very deep satisfaction with who you are, where you are. That's what we've got. And that's nice. That is a nice feeling. Thank you very much for joining me on this premiere. I know it's been a long one, but quite a lot to get through, I suppose, really. Don't forget the March sale of my art is still on if you're interested in my art. We're bringing it to a close now because it has been a long one. Thank you very much for listening. We'll be back, well, whenever really. You probably had a gut full of me by now, but anyway, whatever, we'll be back at some stage. Alright, so take care of yourself. Thank you very much for anybody who did stay. I really do appreciate it. It's nice to have a chat and kind of put my point of views over and what have you. I do think slightly differently to a lot of people I know, and what home means to me is probably slightly different as to what home means to you. And I think that word home, I think for a lot of people it means family. That's what it means. And I'm quite certain that I'm right there, because I think, well, I know some people, they're really into their family sort of thing, you know. And I'm sure they live near to their family, but if their family up sticks, all of their family, and disappeared, I think they would as well. So home for them isn't their location, it isn't their building they live in, it isn't the environment that they live in, it's actually people, human beings. And if those human beings, as I say, if they up sticks and they go, that person would follow on and not feel at home until he's with, or she is with, those people. So home could also be people. I don't really have that in my life. I have Bodhi. If Bodhi's happy and content, then I am as well. But of course he's got to go where I go. You know, if I decide to move, then he's got to move with me, and he's done that all his life. The other thing that I did say, I think, I can't remember who to recently, can't remember, was about Bodhi settling, being settled, because he has moved ever since day one, since I got him. The day I got him, I was 90% out of my house. I had several more bags and boxes to do and things like that, and within a week or two he'd moved into my house, then was moving out of my house, then he moved into my car, of all bloody things. We got close then, really, lots of cuddles, because there was nowhere else to go, you know. That was good. Thinking back on it, it was good. Then he moved into Ishi, there was lots of changes there, and we've just moved and moved and moved again since Ishi. So I think for him to have that as well, that stability, I think is nice, and that makes me feel nice. So I get really with the people aspect of it, the home is where people are, and for me, my home obviously is where Bodhi is. Bodhi's home is where I am. You know, if I move 20 miles away tomorrow, he would also move 20 miles away. He would have to, and he would want to as well, because that's where I am. He wants to be with me. But I don't plan on moving, so that's my future. My future is here. We are home. We are content. But thank you very much for listening. We'll be back soonish, I expect. Take care. Thank you. Be well. Cheers. Ta-ra.